What if the silence you ignore every day was actually the doorway to something vast, ancient, and eternal? What if the very thoughts you carry, the ones that make you restless at night and hopeful in the morning, were not truly yours, but echoes of something much older, hidden deep inside your soul? Spirituality has always whispered this secret, that the world you see is only a thin layer of reality. Beneath it lies an ocean of unseen truths, waiting for you to step closer, waiting for you to listen. Have you ever wondered why, in your most quiet moments, you feel a pull towards something greater, something you can't quite name, but you know is there? Since the beginning of time, people have asked the same questions you ask today. Why am I here? What is my true purpose? Is there more to me than flesh and bone? Ancient sages, mystics, and seekers of truth believed that within every human being exists a spark, a hidden light that connects us to the source of all creation. They called it by many names: spirit, soul, divine essence. But the message was always the same. You are not just a body, you are an eternal traveler moving through the mystery of existence. Think about this. Every breath you take is a rhythm tied to the universe. The stars above, the heartbeat within, the rise and fall of oceans, all follow the same sacred law of balance. Doesn't it make you wonder if your life is not random at all, but woven into a much larger design? And yet, the noise of the world keeps you distracted. Technology, stress, fear, desire, they keep you locked in a cycle of forgetting. But the truth has not disappeared. It lives inside you, waiting to be remembered. Imagine, just for a moment, what your life would feel like if you could peel away that noise and see with the eyes of your spirit. What hidden wisdom would you discover? What new power would awaken within you? This is why we are here. Not just to speak of ideas, but to journey together into the heart of what it really means to be alive. Because spirituality is not about distant rituals or ancient temples alone. It is about you, right now, sitting here, listening, questioning, feeling that small vibration in your chest that tells you, yes, there is more. So let me ask you, where are you watching this from right now? Your room, your car, somewhere far across the ocean? Share it with us in the comments, because every story matters. You are part of this moment, part of this circle of seekers who dare to ask the questions others ignore. And as we move forward, stay open. Allow yourself to wonder. Allow yourself to feel. Because the journey we are about to begin is not just about knowledge, it is about transformation. Have you ever noticed? Anxiety never begins in the mind alone. It begins as a whisper in the body. A restless breath, a chest that feels heavy, a heartbeat that races as if it is running ahead of you. And in that moment, your thoughts chase after the body's signals, weaving stories of fear, worry, and what-ifs. But the origin is deeper than thought. Anxiety is not only a mental storm, it is a conversation your body has been trying to begin with you. For centuries, people have searched for words to describe this invisible weight. The trembling hands before speaking, the breath that shortens without reason, the chest that tightens even when you are safe. Anxiety is not just yours, it is human. It has been carried across ages through every culture and every soul, and every tradition has given it a different name. In Ayurveda, the ancient medicine of India, anxiety was seen as an imbalance of vata, a wind energy that becomes restless, ungrounded, and scattered. In Chinese medicine, it was described as a blockage of qi, the life force that flows through subtle energy pathways in the body. And in mystical traditions across the world, healers spoke of the heart as the mirror of the spirit. When the mirror is clouded, clarity is lost, and the soul begins to tremble. And so, anxiety is not new. It is not just a modern diagnosis. It is an ancient human experience, carried in the same place by every person who has ever lived, your chest. Pause for a moment. Bring your awareness there. The chest is more than flesh and bone. It is a sacred doorway. Ancient mystics believed this space carried the seat of the soul. It is here that breath enters, where the rhythm of the heart echoes eternity, where silence turns into life itself. When calm, this space feels open, wide, limitless. When blocked, it feels heavy, tight, and suffocating. In yogic traditions, this space is called anahata, the heart chakra. Anahata means unstruck sound, the eternal vibration that exists even before movement. They believed when this center is balanced, you feel love, connection, and peace. But when disturbed, you feel fear, isolation, and anxiety. And science, after centuries of silence, now whispers the same truth. Running through the chest is a vast nerve highway, the vagus nerve. It begins at the brainstem, travels down the throat, and branches across the chest, lungs, and heart before moving into the belly. Its role is profound. It calms the heartbeat, slows the breath, and tells the body it is safe. This single nerve is the body's great peacemaker. When you place your hand on your chest, when you press or massage this hidden point, you are not only touching the body, you are speaking to the vagus nerve. You are sending a message to the nervous system. It is safe now, you can rest. The chest loosens, the breath deepens, and the mind, which was spinning stories of fear, begins to soften. This is why ancient healers saw the chest as a temple, and this is why modern science finds, again and again, that touch, breath, and gentle pressure can instantly calm anxiety. 2 languages, 1 truth. So what if your anxiety is not an enemy? What if it is a signal, a sot, knock from your inner self, asking you to return, to touch, to breathe, to listen? In the stillness of your chest lies a doorway. Beyond fear, beyond racing thoughts, beyond the restlessness of the mind, there is a silence that has never left you. You only need to turn the key. And that is what we are about to do. They say the ancients placed their hands upon the chest and called it the Temple of Calm. Today, science gives us another name, one that bridges the language of spirit and biology. That name is the vagus nerve, the great messenger of the nervous system. Running like a quiet river through the body, the vagus nerve begins at the base of the brain, travels down the throat, touches the chest, and finally reaches into the abdomen. It connects the mind to the heart, the breath, and even the rhythm of digestion. Imagine it as a silver thread woven through your being, tying together thought and body, feeling and breath. For centuries, healers spoke of this connection without anatomy charts, and now modern medicine shows us the very path they once described in whispers. When the vagus nerve is soothed, your body knows how to return to balance. It slows the racing heart, eases the shallow breath, and softens the restless mind. This is why the point in the chest is so important, because here, under your hand, the nerve responds like a door opening to stillness. Anxiety is, in many ways, a body remembering danger even when no danger is near. Your nervous system has 2 states. One is fight or flight, the racing pulse, the tight chest, the feeling that something is wrong. The other is rest and digest, the calm, grounded place where healing can begin. When anxiety takes over, it is the sympathetic system pushing the body into alertness. But the vagus nerve, when gently activated, guides you back to the parasympathetic state, the state of restoration. In this way, press in. On your chest is not just a gesture of comfort. It is a signal sent directly to the body. You are safe. You may rest now. Think for a moment of how the body reacts in stress. The chest tightens. The breath becomes small and shallow. The heart races. But when you bring your hand to this point, the body begins to listen differently. Gentle pressure here activates sensory nerves that run into the vagus system. The brain receives this signal and begins to release calming responses. In the simplest language, it is as if you pressed a reset button. reminding the system to return to peace. This is not only a matter of touch. The chest is also a chamber of sound and breath. Every deep inhale, every slow exhale passes through this space. The vibrations of humming, chanting, or even whispering a prayer resonate through the chest and stimulate the vagus nerve. Ancient monks, yogis, and mystics did not know the word parasympathetic, but they knew the effect of sound upon the chest and the calm it brought to the heart. Modern science now confirms what they sensed. Vibration and breath awaken healing pathways. Pause with me now. Place your hand gently upon your chest. Let your shoulders drop. Take one slow, deep breath in and a longer breath out. Notice how, in this simple act, the body begins to shift. Perhaps your breath lengthened without effort. Perhaps your heart feels softer against your palm. Did you sense even a small change? If you did, share it in the comments. Tell me, what city are you watching from? And what did you feel in that moment of stillness? Because this is more than explanation. It is experience. You have just tested the connection yourself. The chest point is not theory. It is a living doorway you can step through whenever you choose. Science reassures us of why it works, yet mystery surrounds the deeper meaning. It is as if biology and spirit are speaking the same language with different words. On one side, nerves, breath, heartbeat. On the other side, calm, energy, soul bot. H point toward the same truth, that healing begins when we remember the body is not our enemy, but our ally. And so this chest point is not merely physical, it is a symbol, a way of saying to yourself, I can return to calm whenever I choose. The ancients placed faith in it. Today, researchers measure it. But you, in this moment, can feel it. And as we move forward, keep this in your awareness. The body is not a prison for anxiety, it is a pathway out. This is why so many traditions, both spiritual and medical, converge here at the center of the chest. This is why your hand naturally goes to this spot when you are stressed, overwhelmed, or afraid. Something within you already knows. This bridge between biology and mysticism opens the path to the next layer, the actual practice, the technique itself. The exact way to place the hand, the way to breathe, the way to press, so that this ancient wisdom and modern science come alive in you. Because knowledge becomes power only when practiced, and in the practice, your body remembers what peace feels like. You now know why this point on your chest holds so much power. You've seen how science and spirit meet here. But knowledge alone is only a seed. For it to bloom, it must be practiced. So let's do this together, slowly, gently, with presence. Let this be not just instruction, but an experience you carry with you. First, prepare your space. Sit in a way that feels comfortable, where your feet touch the ground, and your spine can relax without effort. If you can, soften the light around you. Close any distractions. Let the noise of the outside world pause for a few minutes. You don't need a meditation room or candles. You only need your own presence. Imagine, if you will, that wherever you sit right now has become a small temple of calm. This is your sanctuary, created not by walls, but by your own intention. Now, let us find the point together. Bring one hand toward the center of your chest. Feel for the flat bone called the sternum, resting just above the heart. It is not high at the throat, nor low in the belly, but in the middle space that so often aches when you carry stress. Rest your fingers or your palm there. Don't force the pressure. Allow your hand to arrive softly, as though it has been waiting for this moment. If you are uncertain of the exact spot, trust your intuition. The body knows. It will guide your hand to where it needs to rest. The first way to connect is through simple stillness. Place your fingers or palm on the point now. Apply only the lightest pressure, just enough to feel the warmth of your own hand. Close your eyes if you wish. Begin to breathe slowly, letting each inhale rise beneath your hand and each exhale soften it again. Stay like this for a few moments. Notice the gentle pulse of your heart, the quiet movement of your breath. This stillness is not emptiness, it is medicine. It is as though you are pressing a hidden key, one that opens a door into silence. The second way is with breath. Keep your hand resting on the chest point. Inhale slowly through your nose as if drawing calm into your body. Then exhale through your mouth, letting the breath be longer than the inhale. Again, inhale peace, exhale release. As you do this, imagine golden light entering through your breath, filling the space beneath your hand. On the exhale, imagine any tightness, any cloud of worry, leaving you as a faint shadow dissolving into the air. Repeat this 3 to 5 times, moving with me. Slowly in, longer out. Golden light in, dark cloud out. This rhythm is a reminder to the body. You are safe, you are here, you are calm. Now, we add sound. Keep your hand where it is, resting gently on your chest. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, hum softly. Let the sound vibrate through your chest, even if the tone is quiet. You might choose a simple or a soft om, or even whisper the word calm. The sound will travel through the chest like a ripple across water. This vibration is not only felt spiritually, it is known to stimulate the vagus nerve, sending a wave of calm through the nervous system. Repeat this 2 or 3 times. Allow the sound to be your companion, a bridge between your body and your spirit. Pause with me here. Place your hand still. Breathe once more, deeply and slowly. Notice, has your breath slowed compared to when we began? Do you feel a subtle warmth beneath your palm or a quiet softness in the chest? These are not small things. They are signs that your body has already begun to shift. Share with me in the comments. What did you notice in this practice? Did the pressure, the breathing, or the sound speak to you most? Remember, this is not about perfection. You don't need to practice every method at once. Choose the one that feels natural to you. For some, it will be the gentle stillness, hand resting on chest as a reminder of safety. For others, it will be the breathing rhythm, bringing light with every inhale. And for many, the vibration of sound will feel most powerful, resonating through the body like a tuning fork of peace. There are also smaller variations you can carry into your daily life. In a stressful meeting, simply place your hand on your chest under the table for one slow breath. While waiting in traffic, hum softly to yourself and feel the vibration calm your nerves. Before answering a difficult phone call, place your hand here for just a moment of grounding. These small practices do not take time away from your day. They give time back to you by returning clarity and calm. As you practice, trust your body. There is no right or wrong way to touch this point. What matters is presence. What matters is that you remember, in the middle of noise, that a doorway to calm is always within reach. And as you sit with this, let this section close, not with an ending, but with an opening. You have now touched the point, breathed with it, and felt its vibration. You have given your body a reminder of what peace feels like. And when the body remembers, the mind follows. From here, we begin to see how this practice touches not just the physical self, but also the heart of emotion, the stories we carry, and the healing we long for. When you press that point on your chest, something remarkable begins to unfold. Up until now, we've focused on the how, the physical act of locating and applying pressure. But what truly makes this practice powerful is what happens inside you afterward. It is not just about pressing a spot. It is about unlocking a conversation between your body, your emotions, and your deeper self. Let's open that doorway together. Your body is always speaking. It just doesn't use words. When you press this point on your chest, it's like knocking on a door that has been closed for a long time. Some people notice a sudden deep breath that seems to come out of nowhere. Others may feel a slight shiver run down the arms, or even tears gathering at the edge of their eyes. These subtle signals are the body's way of whispering, "Thank you. I've been holding this for too long." This is not weakness, it is release. Imagine carrying a heavy bag all day. When you finally put it down, your muscles tremble, your shoulders drop, and your whole body sighs in relief. Pressing this point has a similar effect. It loosens what has been tightly held. And that moment of trembling, sighing, or even crying is not the start of a breakdown. It is the beginning of healing. Scientifically, this happens because you are speaking directly to your nervous system. Anxiety locks the body into a fight or flight state, where the heart races, the breath shortens, and every muscle braces for danger. By pressing the chest point, you activate signals that awaken the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's natural brake. Suddenly, the storm begins to settle. The heart no longer pounds like a drum. Instead, it slows into a steady rhythm. Breathing shifts from shallow gasps into deeper, calmer waves. Shoulders that were stiff as stone soften, almost without effort. You may feel a heaviness leaving your chest, replaced by a lightness that feels like floating. It is as if the body remembers how to rest. And in that stillness, you realize something profound. Safety is not only found outside, it can be created within. But it doesn't end there. Pressing this point doesn't just calm the body, it often stirs the emotions hidden beneath anxiety. Picture a locked chest that has been buried deep within you. Every stressful thought, every unspoken fear, every unshed tear gets stored there. When you apply pressure to this point, the lock begins to turn. For some, emotions rush out like water from a broken dam, sudden crying, shaking, or even laughter that feels uncontrollable. For others, it's gentler, a quiet sigh, a single tear, or a soft sense of relief that cannot be explained in words. This is not random. It is the body's intelligence at work. Anxiety is not just a mental storm, it is emotional energy trapped in the body. By pressing this point, you are giving permission for those waves to finally move. And when emotions move, healing happens. Beyond the science lies something even more mysterious. This point on the chest is more than flesh and nerves. It is the gateway to the heart's energy center. In many ancient traditions, this is known as the heart chakra, the seat of love, forgiveness, compassion, and inner truth. When anxiety is strong, this center feels like it has a wall around it. Pressing the point is like gently knocking on that wall until it begins to crack open. And when it opens, something beautiful happens. The heavy fog of fear transforms into clarity. The tightness of worry softens into warmth, and the mind grows silent enough for the heart to speak. People describe it as a sudden stillness, like the pause between two breaths. Others feel a sense of being lifted, as if they are connected to something greater than themselves. Whether you call it energy, spirit, or simply inner peace, the effect is undeniable. Let me share a story that mirrors what many people experience. A young woman once told me that every morning before work she would feel her chest tighten with dread. Her breath would grow shallow, her mind would spin, and she couldn't explain why. One day she tried this chest point practice. At first, she felt nothing but slight pressure. Then, suddenly, tears streamed down her face. She didn't even know what she was crying for. Yet afterward, she felt lighter, calmer, almost as if a weight had been removed from her heart. It wasn't magic. It was her own body remembering how to let go. And that single moment became a turning point. She began to use the practice whenever the weight of life pressed too hard, and each time, she reclaimed a little more peace. This is why I invite you not just to practice this once, but to observe yourself as you do it. When you press the point on your chest, pay attention. Does your breath change? Does your heart feel warmer, softer? Do emotions rise to the surface, even if you can't name them? These are not coincidences. They are the signs that the body, the heart, and the spirit are aligning again. Anxiety no longer holds the same grip. It begins to loosen, to shift, to dissolve. Allow yourself to notice, allow yourself to feel, and most importantly, allow yourself to remember that peace has always lived inside you. It was only waiting for you to open the door. And as we continue, we'll step even deeper into the ancient wisdom and timeless practices that saw this point not just as a physical release, but as a sacred bridge to the soul. What you experienced in that quiet moment of release is not a new discovery. Long before modern science gave it names like parasympathetic nervous system or vagus nerve, healers across the ancient world were already tracing invisible maps across the human body. They believed the chest was not simply flesh and bone, it was a sacred gateway, a place where the seen and unseen touched. When you pressed here, you unknowingly stepped into a stream of wisdom that has flowed for thousands of years. In ancient Egypt, the chest was considered the throne of the soul. The Egyptians believed the heart, not the brain, was the true center of thought, emotion, and destiny. In their Book of the Dead, the heart was weighed against the feather of Ma'at, the goddess of truth. If the heart was light and balanced, the soul passed into eternity. If it was heavy with unrest, it was lost. To touch the chest was, in their eyes, to touch the very seat of truth. Pressing upon this area would have been like knocking on the door of the afterlife itself, a soulsmas, sing for peace, asking for balance. Greeks, too, spoke of this region with reverence. They believed in the pneuma, the sacred breath that animated life. This breath was thought to flow through the chest, carried in every rise and fall of breathing. To them, the chest was the chamber of spirit, where mortal body and divine spark met. Ancient physicians like Hippocrates wrote of the importance of chest exercises and gentle touch to bring harmony to the body. They may not have spoken in the language of nerves, but they understood that calming the chest could quiet the entire being. Across the East, the wisdom deepens. In India, the chest is the home of Anahata, the heart chakra. Unlike the lower chakras that deal with survival or desire, Anahata was seen as the place where higher love, compassion, and spiritual balance radiate. To stimulate this point is not just physical, it is to stir the winds of compassion within. Ancient yogis taught that the heart center was a door that opens inward. When you press gently here, you are not pushing muscle or skin. You are knocking on that subtle door, asking it to open, asking love itself to flow. Imagine the still green light of the Anahata chakra glowing softly within you. Can you feel it now? Chinese medicine, too, painted this same truth in its own language. For thousands of years, acupuncturists mapped meridians, rivers of energy, flowing through the human form. On the chest lies a point that calms the shen, or spirit. Pressing here was believed to settle anxiety, slow, rapid breathing, and bring harmony to the heart. It was not mere philosophy, it was a practice, passed from master to student. They understood that when the chest was eased, the entire system found alignment. What is astonishing is not only the depth of each culture's wisdom, but the way they converge. The Egyptians spoke of the heart's judgment, the Greeks of sacred breath, the Indians of Anahata, and the Chinese of meridians calming the spirit. Different lands, different tongues, yet all pointed to the same truth. The chest is a gateway, a doorway into balance, peace, and clarity. How could civilizations separated by oceans and centuries all find the same key? Perhaps it is because the body itself is universal, a temple each culture was learning to read. And now, in our time, science offers its own map. We say vagus nerve, parasympathetic state, stress hormones. But listen closely. Aren't we describing the same mystery in new words? The ancients said energy, spirit, or soul. Today we say nervous system, biofield, or electrical current. One uses poetry, the other precision. Yet together they whisper the same story. Press here, and the storm begins to calm. Think of it this way. When your finger rests on your chest, you are joining a long line of seekers. You are standing in the shadow of temples, under the guidance of yogis, walking in the footsteps of healers who believed the body was a sacred text. And in that quiet press, you are turning a page they too once read. Now, as you feel the echo of their wisdom within your own chest, ask yourself, what does your heart want to say? If you listen closely, you may find that the same whispers heard by priests, philosophers, yogis, and acupuncturists still rise within you. They believed, as you now feel, that the chest is not just a place in the body, it is a doorway to the spirit. And just as they carried this practice into their daily rituals, you too can weave it into the rhythm of your life. Because the power of this point is not in one touch, it is in the gentle returning again and again to that doorway of calm. The wisdom of the ancients only truly lives when it is carried into daily life. A teaching held in memory fades, but a practice woven into your rhythm becomes a quiet source of strength. The chest point you've discovered is not meant to be touched once and forgotten. It is a doorway meant to be visited again and again, gently, as part of your everyday breathing. You don't need long hours or elaborate rituals. Just a few quiet moments are enough. In the morning, before the weight of the day gathers, sit comfortably and place your fingertips lightly on your chest. Close your eyes. Take 3 slow, steady breaths and let your awareness sink into that space. If stress finds you during the day, pause for a moment, even in a busy room, and press here softly. At night, when sleep feels far away, let this point be your companion once more. Touch it gently, breathe deeply, and allow the body to surrender into rest. At first, the changes may feel small, like ripples on water, a softer breath, a loosening of the shoulders, a quiet pause before reacting. But over time, these ripples become waves. Sleep deepens, anxiety loosens its grip. The body feels less like a battlefield and more like a temple. Even the mind begins to shift, no longer rushing into panic, but finding stillness more easily. With each gentle press, you are teaching your nervous system a new story. That calm is possible, that safety can be found, that peace is always near. Think of it as watering a plant. One day may not show much, but tend to it every morning, every evening, and you will soon see growth, subtle yet undeniable. And this growth is not only physical, it is emotional, it is spiritual. You may notice your reactions softening, your compassion widening, your inner silence becoming stronger than the noise of the world. Now imagine weeks, even months from today. Imagine carrying this simple practice like a quiet secret in your heart. How would your days feel if calm was always within reach? How would your nights feel if rest was not a struggle but a natural surrender? This is the gift weighty. Sung for you, one press at a time. And as we close this chapter, remember, the body holds many such gateways. The chest is only the beginning. Other points wait in silence, ready to awaken when you are. Each time your fingers touched that quiet space on your chest today, you weren't just easing tension. You were reminding your body that it is safe, that peace is possible, that stillness can live inside you. This practice is more than a technique. It is a homecoming, a gentle whisper to your nervous system. You don't need to fight right now. You can rest. You can breathe. And in this moment, as you sit here with me, I want to honor you for choosing to pause. In a world that moves endlessly, you chose stillness. That choice alone is a kind of courage. Thank you for being here, for sharing this quiet journey with me. Now, I would love to know something from you. Where in the world are you watching from? Write your name and your city in the comments. Let this circle become more than a screen. Imagine hearts from every corner of the world connected by this same gentle press on the chest. And tell me what you felt. Was it warmth, tingling, a sudden calm, or perhaps just a small shift in your breathing. Even the smallest change is worth honoring. And if you wish to see more guidance on other points, let me know. I may create a video inspired by your story. If this practice brought you even a moment of calm, then I invite you to carry it further. Subscribe to this channel, Beyond the Figure, and help us grow to 10,000 subscribers. Every click is more than a number. It's a ripple of calm that spreads to others who might need it. And if you know someone, a friend or loved one, who often carries anxiety in their chest, share this video with them. Sometimes a simple touch, a simple breath, is all it takes to change a day. Your stories matter too. If you've lived through stress, grief, or anxiety and found a way to soothe yourself, share it with me. Perhaps your story will shape an entire video that could guide countless others. Healing multiplies when it is spoken aloud. The chest point you've discovered is not meant to be touched once and forgotten. It is a doorway meant to be visited again and again, gently, as part of your everyday breathing. You don't need long hours or elaborate rituals. Just a few quiet moments are enough. In the morning, before the weight of the day gathers, sit comfortably and place your fingertips lightly on your chest. Close your eyes. Take 3 slow, steady breaths and let your awareness sink into that space. If stress finds you during the day, pause for a moment, even in a busy room, and press here softly. At night, when sleep feels far away, let this point be your companion once more. Touch it gently, breathe deeply, and allow the body to surrender into rest. At first, the changes may feel small, like ripples on water, a softer breath, a loosening of the shoulders, a quiet pause before reacting. But over time, these ripples become waves. Sleep deepens, anxiety loosens its grip. The body feels less like a battlefield and more like a temple. Even the mind begins to shift, no longer rushing into panic, but finding stillness more easily. With each gentle press, you are teaching your nervous system a new story. That calm is possible, that safety can be found, that peace is always near. Think of it as watering a plant. One day may not show much, but tend to it every morning, every evening, and you will soon see growth, subtle yet undeniable. And this growth is not only physical, it is emotional, it is spiritual. You may notice your reactions softening, your compassion widening, your inner silence becoming stronger than the noise of the world. Now imagine weeks, even months from today. Imagine carrying this simple practice like a quiet secret in your heart. How would your days feel if calm was always within reach? How would your nights feel if rest was not a struggle but a natural surrender? This is the gift weighty. Sung for you, one press at a time. And as we close this chapter, remember, the body holds many such gateways. The chest is only the beginning. Other points wait in silence, ready to awaken when you are. Each time your fingers touched that quiet space on your chest today, you weren't just easing tension. You were reminding your body that it is safe, that peace is possible, that stillness can live inside you. This practice is more than a technique. It is a homecoming, a gentle whisper to your nervous system. You don't need to fight right now. You can rest. You can breathe. And in this moment, as you sit here with me, I want to honor you for choosing to pause. In a world that moves endlessly, you chose stillness. That choice alone is a kind of courage. Thank you for being here, for sharing this quiet journey with me. Now, I would love to know something from you. Where in the world are you watching from? Write your name and your city in the comments. Let this circle become more than a screen. Imagine hearts from every corner of the world connected by this same gentle press on the chest. And tell me what you felt. Was it warmth, tingling, a sudden calm, or perhaps just a small shift in your breathing? Even the smallest change is worth honoring. And if you wish to see more guidance on other points, let me know. I may create a video inspired by your story. If this practice brought you even a moment of calm, then I invite you to carry it further. Subscribe to this channel, Beyond the Figure, and help us grow to 10,000 subscribers. Every click is more than a number. It's a ripple of calm that spreads to others who might need it. And if you know someone, a friend or loved one, who often carries anxiety in their chest, share this video with them. Sometimes a simple touch, a simple breath, is all it takes to change a day. Your stories matter too. If you've lived through stress, grief, or anxiety and found a way to soothe yourself, share it with me. Perhaps your story will shape an entire video that could guide countless others. Healing multiplies when it is spoken aloud.